What's up, y'all? We live? We live? I'm trying to pull it up myself on my personal YouTube on my phone. Y'all bear with me. This is my first time going live via one of these apps. Here we go. We live, baby. We are live. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me share this with a few folks. Try to get this out here. But yeah, again, thank y'all for tuning in. It is your boy Albert Benjamin Dow, and you have tuned in to the first ever live stream of FNL. Again, that's FNL. That is Friday Night Live. Every night from 10 p.m. to whenever. We don't have a set time to end it, but it's gonna be a good time. So we're talking all things business, latest business news, especially crypto. Crypto is gonna be huge on this channel, and stocks and options. So we're touching the whole gambit. I'm probably gonna end up needing to get me a fan because I feel myself getting hot already. Also, with it being Friday, it's a double cup kind of Friday. So hopefully y'all are unwinding, getting ready for the weekend. I certainly encourage you to pour yourself a nice beverage. You deserved it. You worked hard, and you deserve to play a little bit hard. So yeah, toast. Y'all see the sweat already? Man, give me a sweat towel. Might have to call my wife to give me a sweat towel. Cool. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. I copied the link. Go back to it. Y'all stick with me. I appreciate your patience. If you are tuning in, like I said, I'm actually there's a couple of people watching. Appreciate y'all. I don't know who are watching. Like I said, I'm looking at it. I'm looking down at my phone, and yeah, and post this on Facebook. We're live. Tap in. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, being patient while I kind of get this up and running. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your host, Albert Benjamin Dow. You can call me Al. I'm also the neighborhood economist on social media. And I appreciate you, brother. Wife brought me a towel. Seen the boy up here sweating. We're gonna have to get that fan going in a little bit. But yeah, man. Nah, man. He glistening over it. Yeah. So no, I'm super excited. And this is the first of many live streams. Thank you. Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. We got fan action going on over here. Y'all see it blowing a little bit. Y'all gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, no, it's cool. Now leave that on. It's cool. They'll be fine. But yeah, so real quick, this live stream is brought to you by Ticker Apparel. So y'all see the green screen in the background. This is the first ever apparel company, which I happen to be the founder of, that was birthed in crypto. So for the first time ever, at least that I'm aware of, you'll be able to, with every purchase that you make, 10% of the gross sales price will come back to you in the form of Satoshis, which are fractal Bitcoins. So I'll go ahead. Let me make sure I got my screen share going on. Oh, let me pull it up bigger. Cool. So this is the website. You can go to tickerapparel.com. Let me scroll up a little bit. Yeah, so man, I was super excited about this. My wife has been working with me on some of the newer stuff, but we launched October the 1st, and you have to have an active Cash App or Coinbase account. When you make your purchase online, make sure you type in your phone number or your Coinbase, your phone number or your email in correctly, because that's how you're going to receive your Satoshis. And if you've noticed over the last week, Bitcoin has been on a tear. So, we're turning liabilities into assets, right? So typically you would hear people say if it's on your ass, it's not an asset. Well, in this instance, if you're shopping on tickerapparel.com, that's not necessarily the case. Now, we're not guaranteeing that Bitcoin or your Satoshis are going to go up in perpetuity or for infinity, right? Like, I don't know that. And so I'm not suggesting that. But what we do know over the last 10 years is that Bitcoin has outperformed any other asset class. And so, to the extent that this has never been done before, I'm super excited about it. So right now, we launched with 4 shirts. I have on one of the shirts. This is the excuse me, the digital gold, the ticker BTC digital gold shirt. I'll click on it real quick so you guys can see how it looks. Super dope shirt. Super comfortable. Has like a jersey kind of feel in terms of, it's not dry fit, but it has these slits on the side, so it prevents a lot of bunching up. If you guys wear t-shirts regularly, when you have a t-shirt on, sometimes it can kind of roll up a bunch up at the bottom. And so that slit at the bottom prevents that from taking place. So very thoughtful in the concept and the making of the shirt. And this is it. You guys see it right here. The extra large ticker insignia apparel on the front. And then what's really cool about it, and I love this, is the stock chart or the crypto chart. And this is the BTC crypto edition. So that's how that looks at the bottom of the shirt. I don't necessarily have to zoom in right here. This is how it looks. And it's more yellow. As you guys can see, the actual shirt that I'm wearing is more gold. But it's super comfortable. I've washed them. I typically tumble dry mine in low heat. But they have instructions on the back. Very, like I said, super high quality, super comfortable. And so I'll go through these real quick so you guys can see them. This is the ticker ETH. So that's the Ethereum Decentralized Kings. Love this one, of course, being the founder. I got all of them, but I would definitely encourage you guys to get it as well. Oh, how could I forget? As I'm getting into this, real quick, guys, I need you to stop what you're doing. Keep listening to me, but go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing, and I greatly appreciate it. It will help the channel reach more viewers and provide, more value to the world. So if you could really quickly stop what you're doing, destroy the like button, and obliterate the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate that. And so, yeah, back to the shirts. Ticker ETH Decentralized Kings Crypto Edition. Super hard. Y'all see that that black and Carolina blue? That thing special. Super comfortable. And like I said, I got it too. But yeah, you can go to the website. The shirts are $34.99 for the small through the extra large. We do have 2XL, very limited in quantity, and those are $5 more, so they're $39.99. I think it'll automatically switch. So those are $39.99. Real quick, we'll go back. So y'all see, we got the Tesla. Oh, that Tesla red is hard, man. What y'all know? About that? But yeah, that's super hard. White and red Tesla ticker apparel, TSLA. I guess I can't say Tesla, although a name can't be copyrighted. But the ticker symbol I know is not 4 letters together that don't spell anything specifically, can't be copyrighted. But again, with each purchase, you're gonna receive 10% of the gross sales and Satoshis back to you. So in this instance, whether it's Cash App or Coinbase, you purchase this shirt for $34.99. That's essentially $3.50. That's gonna come back to you in the form of Satoshis, which are fractal Bitcoins. Again, it's the first apparel company that has touched the space in this way, and I'm super excited about that breakthrough. So again, that is the Tesla off the grid. Tesla, everything's electric, so we're off the grid. Love that shirt. And I like red's probably my favorite favorite color. So I got a lot of red, and I'm kind of trying to beef up my black and yellow, black and gold. And then we got the ticker AAPL. So in the stock market, if you go to any platform and you put in AAPL, it's going to bring up Apple. So this is the AAPL Device Wars short sleeve t-shirt, super premium, great feel. Now the blue here is a little bit off, so it comes up as royal, a more royal blue, but it's actually a Carolina blue. So I need to get that adjusted. But just as a disclaimer, it is more baby or Carolina blue than it is royal blue. But nonetheless, still super hard, still super fresh. And I got that one too. So, and you should get it too. So make sure you go to tickerapparel.com and pick you up a shirt. There's gonna be more to come from the fall selection. My wife, who's incredibly gifted and creative, has kind of helped bring my other vision to life with this brand. And you guys, as you can see, my green screen back here in the back, that's the C with the wings under it. Let me blow myself up a little bit bigger. Okay, the C with the wings under it. That's gonna be a logo on some of the shirts. We got some jackets coming, some hoodies coming. It's gonna be a great fall and a great winter. So as we gear up toward the fourth quarter, and you guys are looking to shop small business, make sure you shop tickerapparel.com. So again, I appreciate y'all support and tuning in. Much love on that. Let me take a sip here, and we'll get right into this, man. And make myself a little bit bigger. Cool. Here we go. And so we'll go ahead and get into the news of the day. And these are fresh takes, at least on the news, as far as I know. I've not looked at the news for the day, but as I just pull this up, let me go ahead and bring y'all into the fold here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Bitcoin. So there has been a Bitcoin ETF that has just been approved, and it's going to start trading next week. Well, obviously that's huge, right? So the topic of this live was it too late to buy Bitcoin? And so in my view, and also as a disclaimer, this live stream is for E&E. That's entertainment and education. What it is not is advice, right? So I'm not suggesting or telling you where you should put your money. If you want that type of guidance, please reach out to your to a licensed financial professional, and they'll be able to assist you with that. So as we get into this Bitcoin ETF, just off the top of my head, right, that's gonna be huge. What is it saying? Jack Dorsey says Square may build a Bitcoin mining system. I mean, it's all types of stuff going on around Bitcoin. Okay, so is it too late? After Bitcoin has had the most incredible run in a 10-year span, probably out of any asset known to man since the history of man, or at least as long as records go back, right? Is it too late? If you bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, put like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in it, you'd probably be a millionaire right now, multiple times over. And so you would think that it's too late to get involved in Bitcoin or crypto. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to think about as you assess the situation. Now, before I get into those things, this is going to be kind of fun, right? I got a few some ad libs, some hip hop ad libs. Is going to spice this thing up and make it a little bit more fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy the hip hop ad libs. And I'm going to play a few of them for you real quick. Y'all hear that? So we got 2 Chainz, man. I think Birdman. I got some
Cash Money.
We got Diddy.
I like this right here.
I got a couple of them. I hadn't decided where I'm gonna use all of them, but we got DJ Paul. We got Jay-Z. Yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be. Oh, we got Juicy.
Play me some pimpin', man.
Play me some pimpin', man. Straight from North Memphis. Shout out to North Memphis, by the way. And but yeah, anyway, we'll go ahead and get into it. I was getting excited, getting off track a little bit with the with my ad libs. I got some videos. I'm gonna play those in it. That's gonna definitely spice things up a little bit. So in any event, and I guess I can make this bigger so y'all can see it. That would be helpful. That didn't make it bigger. There we go. The first Bitcoin futures ETF. So it's not the spot market, and they talk about this in the article. But basically, this is the beginning of more mass market adoption. So the way things typically work, guys, is, or business in general, and this is why a lot of businesses don't make it. Small business owners don't make it because they don't necessarily have the financial backing to have the staying power to be in the market. So there's something called awareness, right? So you got awareness, and awareness has multiple stages. I'm going to give you guys an example. So I know about Netflix when it first launched. When Netflix had DVDs, I was fully aware of Netflix and what it was, right? And it right away, it made sense. But I actually didn't get a Netflix account. So Netflix was became a publicly traded company, I believe in like 2002. It was between 2002 and 2004. Now, I personally did not have a Netflix account until, I'm going to say, 2010, 2011. And that's when they started transitioning more to streaming. And that's really the only platform I've ever used. Like, when I was doing the DVD thing, my wife and I would go to Redbox. I never did the Netflix DVD, even though they had that function when we first joined. But I say that to say that the awareness, like I was aware of Netflix, but I hadn't become a consumer. I hadn't bought Netflix. And so when you look at crypto and when you look at Bitcoin, even though it's been around 10 years, you have to understand, like, the mainstream Wall Street white collar executives in the market, the investment funds and investment banks and all these people who are the market leaders in the current traditional market that we have just now began to come to this party. And so there's still a lot of runway here, in my view. Also, if you want to know, well, am I too late? Here's an exercise you can try. You can actually pick up the phone and call a financial advisor that you know and ask that individual to explain to you what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is, and then just be quiet. Like, don't say a thing. Allow them to explain it to you. And I would imagine that most of them cannot explain to you exactly what Bitcoin is. In fact, I would imagine that most of them are probably going to steer you away from investing in Bitcoin. And the reason for that, number one, they don't know what it is, really. Number two, they it's a financial advisor's job. They have something called a fiduciary responsibility to do the right thing by your money. So they're typically gonna put you on a tried and true path. They're gonna assess your risk tolerance and all that stuff, but you know what I'm saying? They probably don't know that much about it. So they're probably going to steer clear of it. Why is that important? Well, if the professionals don't know about it, that lets you know, even after 10 years, how early we still are. So that's an exercise you could try. Just give somebody a call, financial advisor, of course, licensed financial advisor, and ask them, tell me a little bit more about Bitcoin or crypto. I'm thinking about investing, and then see what their feedback is. Joe, my bro, I see you, brother. I appreciate you, man, tuning in. But yeah, so that's one thing you could do, right? Call them, see what they say, and my assumption is very few of them are going to be able to tell you exactly what it is, how it works, how to purchase it, right? And like the long term, just the economics around it. So we're still really, 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 really early in my view. And there's a video I want to share with you guys. Let me see. I had to go to my YouTube page. And it's from what's the guy from Shark Tank? Kevin O'Leary. I'm not gonna call him Mr. Wonderful. As a grown man, I'm not calling another grown man that, even though I just said I'm not gonna call him Mr. Wonderful. But yeah, Kevin O'Leary did a video, and let me pull it up and we'll listen to it. I'll stop and kind of break down what's being said, or give my thoughts on what's being said and why I think it's so important to understand in terms of how much runway, how much space, how much room we have left in this crypto run. Now, right now, personally, I think we're at the top of the market, or getting close. We probably gonna have another huge run up between now and say the first of the year, depending on who you're listening to. Oh, thoughts keep coming in my head, but yeah. So another thing you can consider when you want deep information about crypto, you don't go to the traditional markets. You don't really go to CNBC. You don't really go to Yahoo Finance or any of the bigger players. Right? You go to YouTube. Like the people, for the first time in my lifetime, the people actually found something of value or created something of value that the power players in the market scoffed at for the longest. Like the people created this. And so that's one thing. If you have like a rebel's heart and anti-establishment, like crypto, that's crypto culture. As you begin to kind of go down this rabbit hole, and it is a deep rabbit hole, right? It's probably too much for me to get into all at once on this particular stream, and I'm still learning. So we're going on a journey together. So I'm not gonna put myself as the know-all. This is still evolving. It's really still in this infancy after, even 10, 11 years it's been in existence. Like we're still really, really early, guys. So let me pull up this Kevin O'Leary. Let me see. YouTube. Y'all should still be able to see my screen. Let me go to my channel. Your channel. Cool. So I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to start it from the beginning. There's some really valuable content and information here that's going to really blow your mind, that I tend to agree with. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and we'll listen in. Oh, let me start over. Skip that. We don't need that.
Back in 2017, because I'm forced to live in a world. I service pension funds and institutions with index. We are 100% compliant 100% of the time. And my first purchase was not in an operating company. I just bought some Ethereum and some Bitcoin in a wallet myself back in 2017. And one day just talked about it on television, on business press. And my compliance officer called me up while I was still in the green room saying, "Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? We cannot have this dialogue, and we're going to get a call." And sure enough, we did. And what's changed is the regulatory.
Yeah, Joe, I watched Big Boy.
I don't have the
Big Boy So real quick, I'm gonna stop this. We hadn't gotten to the pertinent information yet. Just to chime in on what my bro Joe was saying in the comments. Big Boy Crypto has probably the largest channel on, and he says it on there. He has the best, probably most well done crypto channel on YouTube. It's a highly active, highly engaged community. And speaking of that, if you're in Middle Tennessee, there's a couple of things I'm working on. We're gonna start a crypto meetup group, and I'm working on starting a Discord group as well. And so there's more to come on that. But yeah, so for YouTube, it's Altcoin Daily. I listen to Altcoin Daily. It's another guy, and they kind of share their platforms. It's another guy, The Moon. He's like a charts guy. Crypto for me is so volatile. I'm not into trading it. Like, I'm gonna hold it for a certain period of time. At least right now, from what I can tell, crypto typically has like a 2-year bull run, and then like it's like 2.5 years of a bull run, 2.5 years of a bear market. And when crypto has a bear market, and that's what you have to be careful with for people who are really like putting substantial money at work right now, you got to be careful, because it can that thing can go left on you. And you're talking about, in the last downturn, I think Bitcoin fell like 85-90%, and so the altcoins fall even farther than that. And so unless you have the fortitude to withstand those type of losses and hold on, please understand that the train has not left you, and you will certainly have opportunity to get in here and make some money. In fact, it is my belief that, and this is coming from somebody, if you guys follow me and everything I talk about in terms of the stock market, I was a huge crypto skeptic. People were asking me, I was doing some lives on Instagram for a while, and I'm just like, man, dog, what is this stuff? Right? Like, it didn't make sense. Nobody could really break it down. But at the end of the day, it's not somebody else's job to break it down for you. You have to take ownership of something and do your own due diligence and research. So I would encourage you guys to do that. But this is a global market. Like, it's truly global, and it moves almost at the speed of light with your ability to be able to move and transfer value. It's some incredible stuff going on. It's mind-blowing. The more that I get into it, the more it just kind of blows me away, and I'm like, oh, this is actually one of the best times to be alive. If you don't have some capital or some dry powder, which is, money you haven't invested in somewhere, personally, I got some powder dry that when this market rolls over, the next bull market, listen here, I'm telling y'all, this is the one opportunity I honestly feel like within the next 5 to 10 years where you can turn a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 investment. I understand that's a lot of money, but I would encourage you guys to broaden your thinking and horizon. Like, in the grand scheme of things, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 really ain't a lot of money, but I get it. Like, it is, but it really is. Just depends on who you're talking to. It's a mindset thing. But with that being said, like, this crypto is affording people an opportunity to really create some generational wealth in probably the fastest way that we've ever seen in history. And like I said, it's still at the beginning. This is like, I would liken it to the .com era, like in the late 90s. And you guys have probably heard that analogy. But I don't know that we're going to continue to have these extremely volatile markets, because as crypto and Bitcoin increase in adoption, then once the big money really gets in, then there's going to be a backstop there. So it's still going to have some volatility, but the volatility is going to subside as more participants, more market players come into it and believe in it and start investing in it. But it's going to be an unbelievable moonshot. Like I said, over these next 10 years, we're still early, guys. So let me get back to the video, and we'll listen in on what Kevin O'Leary has to say.
The option to be non-compliant.
I don't even have that at all. But slowly and surely, in other jurisdictions first, switching to Germany, France, Australia, England, Canada, which has allowed ETFs now with.
Oh, we got a commercial. Let's see if we can skip it. Skip.
Ethereum and with Bitcoin. So I changed when the regulator changed, and I'm very interested in crypto now as an asset class. And in my
okay, that's a good place to pause. So what Kevin is saying there, so for a lot of crypto and Bitcoin purists, the deal with crypto is that it's decentralized. So it's no centralized government, no centralized bank like the Federal Reserve that is, for lack of a better word, really manipulating it. And so the more, like I said, the more you go down this rabbit hole and you understand how money works and this stimulus and the PPP loans and who got the loans and all that stuff, like a lot of that stuff is manipulation. And the way this works, the crypto, there's a network of computers that is confirming everything against that these are valid transactions. And so what Kevin O'Leary just said when he was talking about the regulators and government, a lot of people want smaller government, but in this instance, for the really big money to get involved, right, they're not gonna risk billions or even trillions of dollars in capital without understanding the rules to the game. And so they actually need, whether it's the SEC or the FTC or whatever three alphabet, government agency that would come in, they really need somebody to step in and regulate it. And the regulation is just going to define the rules of the game. And so what he was saying is he had somebody in his compliance department telling him that, we got to pump the brakes. But as different markets in different countries begin to implement regulation around crypto and Bitcoin, he's looking to get into it. So I think you're gonna see, like I said, a wave of big money coming into this thing the more regulation we get. Let's let it run a little bit more.
My world, let's say you're running a $1 billion mandate, which is a typical mutual fund or ETF or whatever. And generally, if you're compliant with your own compliance department, there's 11 sectors in the S&P. You're allowed to go up to 20% in any one sector and up to 5% in any one name. That's generally how it works. I argue today that crypto is the 12th sector of the S&P. That's what it is. It doesn't mean I have to have everything.
That was big. I don't know if y'all caught that. That was huge. I'm looking for one of my ad libs. He said that from his perspective, that crypto was the 12th sector of the S&P 500. The 12th sector of the S&P 500. Why is that significant? The reason that is significant is when you understand how our current world, the traditional stock market works. Your 401ks, which a lot of people who work in corporate America, including myself, have, index fund managers. See, once crypto becomes part of the S&P, if it's a asset class within the S&P 500, then all of the index funds, because they're weighted to track that index, will then be basically forced, whether they want to or not, they'll be forced to actually buy crypto. So you're talking about trillions, hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars will flood into the crypto market. And the ETF is somewhat the beginning of it. But the ETF is just something that individual fund managers or you as an investor can buy yourself. You can make the decision on that. But if it becomes part of the S&P 500, and you guys may remember this. So last year, I don't know if it was after Tesla stock split, there was talk about Tesla being a part of the S&P 500, and that it was going to run up. So a lot of index fund managers, like that's all they do in terms of their fund has to basically mirror the S&P 500 or whatever index fund that they're in. And so whether they want to buy crypto or they believe it's a joke or whatever the case is, they will have to buy it if it becomes part of the S&P 500. I tend to agree with Kevin. And the ETF, if the ETF got approved, it's only a matter of time, in my view, before crypto is looked at as an asset class like technology, real estate, energy, crypto. It will be in there at some point. And so, like, if you just look at just that component, right? Once we get to the regulation to kind of give us the rules and the guidelines, the big money, the rules and the guidelines, us as smaller players, this is a lot of fun. Just because, you know, so I mean, some of the whales are getting involved now, but before then, like literally, crypto is like the people's money. It's cool, man. So that's really, we don't have to get through this entire video. That was the main thing in this video I wanted y'all to see, like the regulation piece, and then the asset class piece, where Kevin O'Leary basically said that he believed that crypto was going to ultimately be the 12th asset class of the S&P 500. What's also important to know is to try to do, which I haven't looked into it more, but people control everything, right? Like this isn't just made up stuff. And so the question is, who else of influence shares those sentiments that could sway market makers into actually making that decision that, yeah, crypto is an asset class. Crypto is now an asset class that is part of the S&P 500 index. As soon as that happens, you're going to hear the rumblings first, because this stuff about the ETF has been going on for a while. You're going to hear the rumblings, and then, you know, people are going to start piling in the Bitcoin and crypto like you wouldn't believe. So, okay, cool. So we'll go to the next segment here shortly. Really quickly, before we do, I need you to do something for me. I need you to go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and obliterate the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm, so you can and the notification bell. My son normally has this whole thing down pat. He could tell you in exact order. Of course, kids watch a ton of YouTube, so you smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're up to date on any new releases that come out. So I appreciate y'all. And I'm just playing around with some of these. I'm trying to find I think I had a DMX one. I'm waiting to see how I'm gonna use these in the video. They're gonna be good. Cool. Let's keep it moving. So next we'll get into ETFs, not ETFs, but NFTs. NFTs have been super popular here lately, and a lot of people are super bullish on NFTs. So if you guys on my site, I said I'm gonna get into the NFT space, but right now it's important to me as I build the Ticker Apparel brand that integrity is number one. And I'm not trying to stiff anybody or screw anybody over. I want to make sure the value is clearly articulated to anybody in the community, anybody that's purchasing the NFTs. But my personal opinion, and again, it's just my personal opinion, this is not financial advice, is that NFTs are in a huge, and I'm talking about a huge bubble.
Yo.
That kind of bubble. I mean, a gigantic bubble. It's just some weird stuff going on, man. I can't, for the life of me, understand. Like, so real quick, if you're just finding out or hearing about ETFs, I'm gonna break down what I keep saying ETF, NFT. If you're like, okay, yeah, what's an NFT? An NFT is digital art, basically, or people have music. I was listening to some guy's album on OpenSea. I don't know who he was, but in any event, like, there's a lot of speculation, and the use case isn't that clear, right? The only place where I can see the use case having some validity is right now with influencers. So for people who are building communities or big companies, say like Disney, I'm trying to think of another company, but especially like just celebrities and influencers. So for example, I'm going to use Beyonce because most people know who Beyonce is. And so Beyonce had an NFT. So she launched a group of NFTs, and say one of them cost $150,000. And with that NFT, you got access for a lifetime access to any of her concerts. You got lifetime access to any concert anywhere in the world she's performing. If you're where she is, you can get there and you can sit in the front row. You get backstage access. You get an opportunity to do one video shoot a year. You get to go some other places. I don't know, just some other perks he put in there. So Beyonce has a real dedicated and committed following called the Beehive. And I'm sure there's some wealthy individuals in the Beehive. And so if somebody in the Beehive paid $150,000 for the NFT, and they were like, man, I've had it for like 3 or 4 years. I'm good. I've been able to be on 2 videos, and I've gone to 10 concerts and whatever perks that came with it. And then, man, I'm cool with selling it. Well, because the community is so committed and dedicated to everything Beyonce, then that person might be able to flip or sell their NFT for more than what they paid for, probably for a lot more than what they paid for it, just because people are that dedicated and loyal and in love with Beyonce. Now, Beyonce will probably never do that based on just what I've seen in the media about her. She seems to be a really private person. And, when she's doing her shows and things, you can enjoy those, but she's not interested in any other relationship outside of that with the fans, to the extent that she can keep some privacy. But that's really the only use case. Like, beyond that, I mean, these are literally like JPEGs that people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for, millions of dollars for. And I think the reason that they're doing it is because people want to capture the first of the thing, right? But at some point when the market rolls over, so when crypto rolls over, and it will, NFTs will roll over. And I'm telling you, my opinion is that NFTs, most of them are going to go to zero. I just believe that. Most of them are going to go to zero. And that's going to be the time to buy them. Like, keep your eye on the coins and also keep your eye on the NFTs, like the popular ones, because people are going to unload them for pennies on the dollar just because it's like, it's a JPEG, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, I can screenshot it, whatever your NFT is. I just don't. I got to do some more due diligence. And that's another reason, like I said, why I haven't launched the NFT. I could probably go over there and just, extrapolate some money and make a quick buck. But again, as I kind of build the brand, I got a 10 to 15 year vision. And so I don't want to steal people. Your name is all you got, right? So I'm not trying to steal people and put people in a sour position. So with that said, we're going to get into a video about this NFT that Logan Paul made. So there's a channel called CoffeeZilla. Not sure if you guys are familiar with it. But this guy goes into detail, and I've already watched this video, but it's wild. And you're gonna see how much money Logan Paul made, and you're gonna see how this guy is saying that he believes Logan Paul made this NFT. And it's wild. Let's just go ahead and get into it. And let me pull it up here. It's wild, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Also, don't forget to go to tickerapparel.com. Purchase your Ticker official, a Ticker Apparel premium t-shirt. You'll see them. We got a selection of 4 of them there. Appreciate your support. Unique thing about Ticker Apparel, it is the first ever apparel brand that is birthed in crypto. So with every purchase, you're going to get 10% of the gross sale back in Satoshis, which are fractal Bitcoins. Never been done. I'm doing it. And I'm excited about it. So let me pull this video up. Y'all may hear the okay. Let me share it. I think a video is running now. Where's my stream? Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hope y'all enjoying y'all weekend. Make sure you pull you up something to drink. Wind down Friday. FNL Friday Night Live. Let's get off this commercial, man. I'm not trying to hit it.
Basically, it's looking like what happens when you give a 5-year-old some Photoshop, get it together, and somehow they sell it for $1.
In some ways, this might actually be more embarrassing than Dink Doink, Logan's last project, and that's really saying something. Let's just get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $10 million studio. I'm your host.
It's wild right here.
Now, before we begin, let me say, first of all, pump the stock. It's free. So getting into this video, let me say, some of you will want to.
Real quick, wanted to stop and just remind you guys, if you wouldn't mind, number one, share this video to your friends, your families, your co-workers, anybody that you care about who you think should know more about crypto and is interested in learning about crypto. Let's all go on this journey together. Also, I need you to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and destroy the subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. Do both. And then don't forget the notification bell. All 3 of those in succession. I need you to do that for me. It costs you $0 to do that. So if you would just kind of go ahead and do that for me, I would be so appreciative of it. Thank you. Back to the video.
To judge Logan Paul. I tell you what I found out, but I need you to cut him some slack. It's not easy paying 4% taxes in Puerto Rico. The pandemic has truly hit
Real quick, if you don't know who Logan Paul is, so this guy you're looking at on the screen right now, this guy this is his YouTube channel. His name is he goes by CoffeeZilla. He basically has he's part of the internet police. It's him, another guy named Daniel, and then there's this brother called Real Accountant Reacts. Now, there's a lot of scam activity going on the internet, especially on YouTube. A lot of these ads you see in between YouTube videos and stuff, there's a lot of scams going on. These guys be out here exposing them, and I'm talking about like high-level investigative journalist type exposing these folk. And it's like, yo, that's kind of wild. But it's needed, right? If people aren't scamming people, then these type of channels don't exist. But these guys be going into detail like, hey, bro, this is an absolute scam. Then they break it all the way down. So he's going to go into this, but that's who he is. And Logan Paul, I'm not sure if you guys remember, there was a fight on Triller. It was on pay-per-view, but it was like sponsored by Triller. Logan Paul fought Nate Robinson, the basketball player. Logan Paul is the guy that slipped Nate Robinson. You can look that up on YouTube, but that's who Logan Paul is. He's a huge YouTuber who's trying to get into the boxing world. All right, let's go.
Everyone, Logan's hurting, and he needs the extra cash. So I need to keep that in mind while we talk about his latest project. So look, I'm going to make an in-depth video on this, but this is like a first look at CryptoZoo, Logan Paul's newest project. Like I said, it's hot off the heels of Dink Doink, which traded almost immediately, losing millions of dollars and losing Logan as I guess their ambassador, but never to let fans' losses hold him down. Logan immediately has pivoted to his latest project, being CryptoZoo. I'm going to be honest, Logan at this point isn't carrying a lot of water with me when it comes to crypto. When you're the guy behind this, When you're behind that, your next crypto projects are going to carry a certain scammy vibe. But almost immediately, Logan said that this time it's different. This is a project he believes in, that he's invested in.
I think there needs to be a fresh take. This project that I have is that fresh take. We have a massive team behind it, and our
Just playing with some features. You can show the
just because we believe it's going to work.
Wow, $1 million already.
put people in the timeout and everything on here.
What is CryptoZoo actually about? Looking at their official white paper, they say CryptoZoo is an autonomous ecosystem where users can collect.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, this way you got to tune in. Make sure y'all stay locked in on this, man.
Basically, it's an NFT breeding game. I want to tell you right away, this is not a fresh take. Tons of these exist. CryptoKitties, Axie Infinity, there are millions of these.
Let me get my ad libs ready.
Logan Paul's own spin on this.
There's one hold on.
The idea is you buy an egg, hatches into a base set, you breed it, trade it. Logan calls it a game, and he insists that it will make you money.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
Now, setting aside the highly sketchy fact that you're going to make money from this, when in actuality the real person who's going to make money is Logan Paul, and setting aside the fact that the concept's far from unique, I guess the real draw here is that someone of Logan's resources should be making a very polished game, right? Like, this should be some
I'm telling y'all.
artwork. So when I went to check the game out, I set my preconceived notions about Logan aside. I said, hey, maybe he really tried on this one. Maybe he's really giving this one a fair shake. So I went to check out what $1 million game looks like. I went to their Instagram, and to my surprise, the photos of CryptoZoo are basically a bunch of stock photos from Adobe that have been poorly photoshopped, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
I mean, look at this. Penguin plus shark. Penguin shark.
What?
Need I say more? Video over, actually. We're
Come on, man. Stop
But
it.
these are Adobe photoshopped stock photos, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me pause.
Poorly photoshopped, might I add. Like, look at their white paper.
Just a quick, hold on. We're going to let it run.
The panda font, and then you have this abomination. The naming is about as original as the artwork, which is...
So, this is the beginning. When we get a little bit deeper into this, he's going to find one of these NFTs that Logan Paul is creating, and he's going to create it right here on the video using Photoshop. But I'm showing y'all this just to let you know, especially if you're trying to get into the NFT space. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not fooling with it because I don't know enough. And there's people on there doing stuff like this. This is a stock photo. Like, if you go to, and he's gonna show you, like, you could go to Google Images, pull these joints up. This man done snatched a nose off an aardvark or whatever it is and stuck it on a panda and then turned it into an NFT.
What?
And sold it.
What?
And made a killing.
What?
Come on, man. I'm gonna let that run a little bit more.
It's not at all.
Now, to confirm these were taken from Adobe, I went and I hunted down this exact image. And here it is. Cute, giant panda bear climbing in a tree. Does it look familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Can you see similarities here? Can you tell that this is the same exact image? I mean, look, at this point, Logan Paul's creating Squidward levels of art here. He's taking someone else's work, slapping a nose on it, and calling it art. And then selling the idea for millions of dollars.
Man, slap the nose on it.
And look, maybe you're thinking, this can't be true. No way the guy who created
listen, this way it gets crazy.
Doink would be so lazy as to make NFTs out of stock photos. I mean, look at his already legendary contributions to the crypto space.
My beloved assistant and Dig Doink.
What's up, hey, get your hands off my boss's Dig Doink! Quick,
This just crazy. Oh, we gotta add. We gotta add. We gotta get it out there. Make sure y'all smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you're up to date on any alerts coming from the channel. Appreciate the love and support, man. Appreciate y'all.
Ah, yes, comedy. But anyways, I went through a lot of these photos that released, like the penguin shark, and found the accompanying stock photo they basically took from. They called this one the Litten. because it's a lion and a kitten. Get it? But either no one noticed or no
Come
one
on.
cared, because when these crypto eggs were released, everyone immediately bought them within minutes. And I calculated how much this netted old Logan Paul, and it's $1.3 million on Ethereum alone and $500,000 on BNB. And this is before the game has even launched. This man managed to convince you guys that stock photos were worth $1 million.
Come
Of course,
on, man.
when I found all this out, I did what any self-respecting person would do.
Quick pause. See, I don't even know what to say. Like, now this isn't all the NFTs. I know Gary Vee has an NFT. His seems to have some value in terms of what he's offering and the perks that come with it. But it's some trash out there, man. And listen, I'm not. I can sit here and tell you that I do not understand enough about the NFT market in order to just dive in there. Like, this is, come on, what stock photos, trash Photoshop, $1.3 million in Ethereum on a stock photo just because you're a celebrity? And I gotta watch out, man. Just be careful. Make sure, you do your due diligence. And if you're gonna get in this space, just be willing to lose whatever you put. I mean, crypto in general, but especially if you're finna deal with these NFTs. We're gonna let this thing. I'm telling you, this next part of the video, it is wild. Wow. Stay tapped in.
I posted my findings on Twitter, and immediately their Telegram was furious, asking their admin, Ben Roth, for answers. So, any truth to the Adobe stock rumors? Can you confirm that the whole Adobe stock FUD news is fake? This is important to end the Adobe stock FUD, just to make an announcement about this, Ben Roth. So it's safe to say these guys were in pretty hot water with their dear investors. And eventually, after mounting pressure, the crypto team responded. These NFTs are not Adobe stock. All of the NFTs we created are specifically designed by us and our team.
Trash.
Okay, interesting. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm the one confused. Maybe
Trash.
These are just placeholder images, and they aren't NFTs at all. In fact, their own investors hopped up on Hopium, speculated that this was maybe Logan's 10,000 IQ play. So all images are a decoy, and Logan is shooting YouTube video for dropping the mic on all the fudders? Oh yeah, Logan's gonna drop the mic, all right. And get this, the admins actually played into this idea. Maybe all the pictures are a decoy, says the Crypto Zoo Telegram team. Wow, maybe I'm getting trolled here. Maybe Logan's $1 million artist.
Come on, man. This is crazy.
Mash two photos together. Maybe I've fallen for their trap card. So I kept looking at Ben Roth's other messages. He is one of the admins after all. And that's when I found this. Someone asked
Okay, here we go.
Actual real
This is where,
no more of
here
these
we go.
teasers. And to my shock, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Roth agrees to show one. Drum roll, please, guys. Here it is. It's $1 million art that Logan Paul has created that's going to make all of you rich. This is it, guys. This is one of their hybrids. A totally original, definitely not Photoshopped stock photo. But actually, hang on. This does look a little familiar.
I think that's my favorite
Make a
one.
digital asset with, unique, randomly generated characteristics.
Shout out to Juicy J.
Handmade art for the past 6 months, bro. Approval, very specific notes, 10 different artists.
Come on, man. It's out of control.
Project.
It's out of control.
Call me crazy, but I think that these two stock photos together kind of make this. But to be sure, this is really true. I'm going to try to create this art myself.
Watch this out.
See
Watch
how hard it really is to make $1 million art in Photoshop. Time. Oh, what do you guys think? How do you think it stacks up against the $1 million art here? Would you pay $1.3 million?
Come on.
Let me know in the comments below, because I'm thinking of quitting my job and asking Logan Paul if I can
Are you kidding me?
with him, work for him as an artist. Now, later on, Ben Roth seemed...
That's enough. I've seen enough. See that what I'm talking about? I feel like there's too many bad actors in the NFT space. Like, you can't define that. That man just created Logan Paul's NFT right in front of us. And even if Logan Paul's is an original, you couldn't tell the difference. Like, if there was an actual, digital artist that created that, what he just did looked exactly, and I mean exactly, like Logan Paul's. You finna put a lot of money in there. Now, that's only one case. I mean, I understand there's celebrities and some prominent people over there. I just don't listen. I'm gonna have to take a pass, man. That's really what it boiled down to. And so, will NFTs be huge in the future? I think so. I think they'll have a place. Right now, I only see like from an influencer standpoint. But I think that, again, it's early. The market's gonna continue to evolve. I had a post on my Instagram. Y'all make sure I should have put my Instagram and stuff down here. I'm still learning this whole live thing and how to slide banners in and all that. But I had a post on my Instagram where Netflix, I think it was actually on LinkedIn. I put it on my Instagram, but I got it from LinkedIn. And so Mark Cuban reposted Netflix where they said, like, follow your dreams. They started with DVDs. Like, that's so far behind them now. But, that you evolve over time. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, this is what NFTs are now, but they could become something totally different in the future in terms of the use case and how we use them. Right now, though, man, I'm not buying no NFTs, dog. This a JPEG. You cannot convince me at the moment that paying $3,000 or $4,000 for a JPEG, I don't give a damn who puts it out. I'm not paying that kind of money for a JPEG and I can screenshot and I'm straight. I'm paying. I got to pass on that one, man. Straight up. So we're finna go into the next segment, next video. And I wanted to talk about a little known, hold on. So I'm gonna stay on crypto a little bit longer, but there's something, the last segment, you want to stick around for. So I want to talk about Bitcoin mining. And I went down this rabbit hole a little bit. I tried to look into it. I was like, man, what's up with Bitcoin? Like, okay, so you have to, the way Bitcoin comes about. I didn't talk about this a little bit earlier. So it gets deep. So there's gonna only be 21 million Bitcoin ever. And they are mined just like you would mine gold, but digitally with computers. And what I find interesting about it is it's hard coded to where the last Bitcoin won't be mined until like 2040 something. And I was like, how did that happen? Some people think that Bitcoin and crypto is like alien money. It depends on, I like a good conspiracy theory, just because I like the creative storytelling. Like, some of the stuff is just too good not to listen to. But I did find it fascinating that somebody created some sort of currency that could not be manipulated. At least we don't think that it can. And that's what all the experts are saying. We'll see. People get smarter, scammers get smarter. So right now, at least as it stands, it cannot be manipulated. There'll only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, and it's going to take. And I was like, regardless of how humans advance, we still won't be able to mine Bitcoin any faster. I was like, man, that's some complex stuff. Like, how do you do that? Anyway, this next video we're gonna talk about, it's about 9 minutes long, and like it's beyond me if I'm being honest with you. But I looked into Bitcoin mining, and it's not terribly difficult, but it is expensive. At least the initial setup and the energy use of it is pretty expensive. So you're gonna see some interesting stuff in this video, and how some of this big money mines Bitcoin. See, people got y'all thinking like, oh man, it's just whatever. Man, people are putting huge, I'm talking about crazy money into mining Bitcoin, because the way it works is all these computers are mining, which is like a code. It's unlocking this code, and once you unlock the code, your reward is a Bitcoin. And so when you get into this video, you're gonna see warehouses full of computers that are mining Bitcoin. I didn't even know this stuff existed. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is some money over here. They ain't playing. They trying to get to it. You hear me? Let's go ahead and pull this video up. What a Bitcoin mining video. Is that it? Yeah, this is it.
There's something I want to ask you.
Pause real quick. If you need to take an intermission or a quick break, please go ahead and do so. But if not, stay locked in. And I need you to go ahead and smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you stay up to date with everything that's going on the channel. A lot of information to come. Also, make sure you visit tickerapparel.com, the first apparel company that was birthed out of crypto, that with every purchase that you make, you receive 10% of the gross purchase back in Satoshis, which are fractal Bitcoins. Go to tickerapparel.com right now and purchase the first launch of the shirt. And one thing about the shirts is there's going to be limited runs of the shirts. So it's not going to be a continual thing. When shirts sell out, they may or may not come back. So in the spirit of crypto, we're going to keep it very scarce. Scarcity drives value, and we all like to hold something valuable. So again, man, I appreciate the love and support. Appreciate y'all rocking with me on a Friday night. Y'all ain't got nothing to do Saturday morning, I don't think. And if you do, hey, it's Friday. You worked hard. You enjoyed it. Get you a double cup, pour you up a drink, and play you some nice music to vibe to, or something while y'all listen to this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I got it up. Let me share my screen here. I guess I'll go a little bit smaller, and let's get into this. We'll get past this commercial, and yeah, let's do it.
The ban on mining in China has caused a mass exodus to the United States, to Russia, and to any other areas where mining facilities are available.
Welcome to Rockdale, Texas, America's new crypto mining hub.
This building that's directly behind me. Inside the building, we have this shelving that's 1,000 feet long, 20 feet tall, and there are just miner after miner after miner after miner.
We went inside North America's.
Here's what's wild. 5-10 years ago, you probably could have got one of these mining rigs for a penny, not that much money. Maybe $1,000, probably less than $1,000. Those machines that you just saw, let me go back a little bit.
What does
no,
the USDA
not you.
rule development?
Bitcoin hit $1 trillion market.
Okay, we done messed up, y'all. Hold on. Y'all almost saw the last video. Hey, that last video, I'm trying to tell you something. All right. I done messed up. Okay, here we go.
Bitcoin hit $1 trillion market cap this year.
So I was trying to show y'all the mining rig. Excuse me.
Especially in the wake of the recent government crackdown of miners.
Again, man, I appreciate y'all showing love and tapping in.
Mining in China has caused.
Real quick, I'm not sure. Okay, I want to preface how I say this, or at least give it some thought here. So, China and the U.S. are the two largest economic powerhouses in the world, and I'm not 100% certain that the news that's coming out of China is 100% accurate. Just based on our relationship with them, and what I understand crypto and Bitcoin to be, I don't know. I know maybe it's not smoke and mirrors, but crypto and Bitcoin is doing something we've never seen before. It's the technological revolution has come to money, and money is everything that is not created naturally by God. I'm going to say that again a little bit slower. Money is everything that is not created naturally by God. So everything that we essentially interact with is a form of money. So you're watching this on your phone or on a computer or whatever, and that thing you paid currency and money for, you can actually turn it back into money if you sell it. That might be less money, but it could be money. So everything in your house, including the house, is money. And it can all be converted back into money. And Bitcoin and crypto is changing how we do that thing. And it's a lot to wrap your mind around, but I wanted to drop that out there because, you know, it's heavy. Again, money is everything that is not created naturally.
Yeah. So.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get back to it.
A mass exodus to the United States, to Russia, and to any other areas where mining facilities are available.
Welcome to Rockdale, Texas, America's new crypto mining.
My wife has hand sanitizer. I ain't doing no what. I just feel like putting some on. Hands feel a little ash.
20 feet tall, and there are just miner after miner after miner.
Those are the mining rigs. You could have got those for probably under $1,000 5-10 years ago. Man, I looked into it. Thing cost about $10,000.
Energy footprint.
What is a miner? It is a
I didn't get
small
one.
computer. They call it an
I don't
ASIC
have
miner.
one.
It is made to solve problems, and when they solve that problem, it feeds into the Bitcoin network. When it feeds into the Bitcoin network, you receive a reward.
To help us understand
That big ass warehouse is full of those computers.
Expert Bettina Warburg.
That's what mining is. It's a process by which people are contributing computing power and earning a reward for essentially participating in this process that secures a network. Everybody's using the same software that allows them to connect together and participate in a governance structure that's shared.
It seemed like only yesterday that one person with a handful of computers crunching numbers in their apartment could make money from mining Bitcoin. So how did we go from there to here?
Just like with many industries, you start small. The guy in the garage started the process. He mined Bitcoin. I believe the reward was around 50 Bitcoin
50
for every block reward. Now it is at 6.25.
In some ways.
Okay. See. And remember I told y'all about awareness and like adoption, right? There's levels to it. When you really look at it, someone was over here. So when you look at it, there's levels to it. So the people who started early and were mining Bitcoins, one block, I don't know how long it took. They might get into that. But one block, you can mine one block and get 50 Bitcoins from one block. Just so we're clear, Bitcoin right now is at $60,000. I think it was 61,000 the last time I checked. 61,000. Multiply that times 50. If it's 10, that's 600,000. Another 10 is 1.2 million. And that's just 20. So you multiply that times 2, that's 2.2 million. and then add another what, 600,000 to that. It's about $2.8 million. Damn. All right, it's still not too late though. I know I made that sound like, man, I done missed the boat. No, it's not. It's not too late now. On this mining thing, it's relative, right? When it goes down, you're not gonna get as much bang for your buck because Bitcoin has these things called halvings, and every time you have a Bitcoin halving, you get less per block mined. So I think I'm saying that correctly. All right, we'll go ahead and get back into it. Let's listen to these folks.
Cost equals energy expenditure. This is just
I done ran out of drink.
Technology. We see updates and innovation and people driving margin and driving their cost of operation down in order to reap the greatest reward. So you get mining operations that happen.
Again, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in.
Power is
Thank you so much for the support and the love.
Typically,
means a
mining
lot.
operations go where energy is cheap. Right now, Texas has some of the lowest kilowatt-hour prices in America. That's due in part to a deregulated energy market, which means several providers compete to snag big customers like Windstone.
So there's environments like Iceland, Russia, China, Canada. Areas like Iceland and Canada have a cooler environment. There's probably less dust in those areas. The miners run at a cooler temperature.
Cryptocurrency is about the low-cost provider. Texas is becoming a hotbed for other cryptocurrency facilities.
In fact, Shenzhen-based bit mining is coming to Texas, and Beijing,
y'all see that?
Maine, a company that designs certain.
So China's quote unquote banned Bitcoin mining, and here we got Chinese companies going to different parts of the world, mining Bitcoin. I don't know, just something to think about.
Chips for Bitcoin mining is moving into the decaying aluminum plant down the road from Windstone. According to the Oak Ridge Institute for Science and Education, $1 worth of Bitcoin takes 17 megajoules of energy to mine.
Oh, get out of here, commercial. These folks got to get paid though. Y'all watch the commercials on my channel, man. That's gonna help me out. So I understand, but we're not gonna watch all this.
That's more than double the amount of energy it took back in the day to mine $1 worth of copper, gold, and platinum.
The machines require more power, and more power requires larger capacity, bigger transformers, higher voltage.
Ultimately, the energy intensiveness comes from the fact that solving mathematical puzzles is challenging, and you have to
Lil Wayne ad-lib. Lil Wayne ad-lib alert.
To be the fastest one to actually solve the puzzle. And putting as much computational energy into that challenge as possible increases your ability to actually win. It's intentionally.
This stuff is wild, man.
Each building
Look
is
at
100 megawatts. For each 100 megawatts,
those
building,
long
you can fit
warehouses.
30,000 new ASIC miners in it. In a Bitcoin mine, the consumption
Nothing but
is
computers mining
basically taken
Bitcoin.
by the miners. Each miner has about 3,000 watts that it's pulling. An older miner, an older generation, the S9,
That's out of
which
control.
was released in September 2017, was only pulling 1350. The miners now are at 3,000.
So at capacity, this facility will have
Unbelievable.
750 megawatts of electricity flowing through it, enough to power 150,000 Texas homes during peak demand. That's a lot of juice. How do they manage to keep all those miners cool?
Our ideal goal is to keep the ambient temperature
This is that,
around
man.
81 degrees. There's a lake about a mile from here. And so underground, we have a 8-inch line with 1,000 GPM pump where we pump literally the water through this mile-long pipe into the facility. And it actually goes into holding tanks that then recirculate the
Come
water,
on, y'all.
and it pumps it back into these evaporative cooling walls that are 12 feet tall. Water is actually dripping down the wall of that evaporative cooling cell.
What?
And then as the air comes through it,
Where my little John at?
cools
Hold on.
from 16 to 20 degrees difference between the front of the wall and the inside of the wall. The miners have
Wow.
fans. They have intake fans. And
Big
there's
rock.
thousands of those fans running. And they actually suck the ambient air through the miner, and then there's an exhaust fan. It actually pushes the air through the chips and into the heat aisle. As it goes through the miner, it then heats up because the chips, it's a processing, so it gets really hot, and then we capture the heat on the inside of the heat wall, and then it is
Come on.
evacuated out of
What?
the building through a quote-unquote chimney-like environment.
Inside the
Right
unit,
now.
it literally feels like an oven.
Listen. Did you hear everything that man just said? Do you think that somebody is going to invest that kind of money and those resources if they, and I understand, listen, there's some filthy rich people in this world, and they can afford to lose billions of dollars, but I don't think that somebody goes to the lengths of this to lose money. They got these huge, did you see how long those warehouses was? I've never seen a warehouse that long. Like, I've seen wide, big warehouses. Man, that thing, come on. What? Ain't nothing but computers, and they got 3 of them side by side. They pumping water from a lake back behind it, down into the ground, in a mile-long alleyway or something, water dripping down the wall to keep. Come on, y'all. Come on. And this is not here to stay. Somebody doing all this for a fly-by-night scheme. That's what you want to tell me. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. This is somebody who believes that this is the beginning of something huge, and they put themselves in position to capitalize on it. And there's just no way you're doing all of this for something you think gonna go away. Now, I know, and listen, I don't have Warren Buffett money. Warren Buffett, in my opinion, for the most part, is the GOAT of investing. His track record says so. But I don't listen to Warren Buffett about much tech stuff. Warren Buffett just got an iPhone about 3 years ago. So, like, Warren Buffett is notoriously, he has massive value investing, and he'd probably tell you most of the stock market is expensive right now, and crypto, which it is. I'd agree with that. But when it comes to the tech stuff, I don't really be listening to Warren like that. But this, y'all just heard what them folks said, man. I don't really know what else to, like, somebody putting up that kind of money, they doing all that for something that's a scam and gonna go to, nah, I ain't buying it. Let's let it run.
One Windstone employee estimates that it can get as hot as 140 degrees Fahrenheit in here.
So the S9 has a hash rate of 13.5 terahash. The new S19s are 110 terahash.
Hash rate measures how many computations a miner can do, usually in a second. So how much money can each miner potentially make each day?
Currently, a S19 with 110 terahash, the profitability every day for one machine is 30 USD.
Okay, so $30 times 30,000 miners times 2 big buildings, nearly $2 million a day for a facility.
$2 million.
We have a full staff of 120 employees.
Nah, that needed an ad lib. I need an ad lib.
$2 million a
go back.
Can each miner
let me get my ad lib together.
Currently, a
Juicy J, where you at?
S19 with 110 terahash, the profitability every day for one machine is 30 USD.
Okay, so
what was Juicy?
Times
I lost
30,000 miners times 2 big buildings, nearly $2 million a day for a facility this size.
We have a full staff of 120 employees. We work 24 hours a day, 3 shifts.
What?
There are definitely some increased efficiencies on the horizon, such as faster processing chips for the miners, cooling them in immersion technology, but at approximately 73 terawatt hours annually.
Man, this is wild.
Bitcoin's energy consumption is more than the energy it takes to run every single television set in America.
I think ultimately the energy consumption question is a bit of a...
If y'all remember, there was a Elon Musk, Tesla founder and CEO, talked about the energy consumption of Bitcoin, which Bitcoin, and it sunk Bitcoin and Doge.
What is it relative to when we look at our financial system as a whole, or even just Wall Street, to power Wall Street, which runs almost entirely off of.
Let these folk on Instagram know I'm live, man. I thought I told them.
Trading algorithms. When you look at mining just to earn Bitcoin, well, that's not necessarily so awesome.
According to the Digiconomist's Bitcoin Energy Consumption Index, one Bitcoin transaction takes more than 1,500 kilowatt hours to complete. That's more than 50 days of power for the average U.S. household.
Damn.
Bitcoin is what I like to think of as a calculator. So it's this sort of old school, very clunky system that gets the job done. When you look at what's happening with other blockchains like Ethereum 2 and Definity, is that they've actually implemented a totally different system for essentially doing the same thing. And Ethereum is upgrading to more energy efficient way of securing the network. And the future will be about a lot of these different internet computers battling it out for adoption. So you'll see Definity, Near, Flow,
that's wild stuff, y'all.
Kinds of networks. Really
do your homework, do your due diligence. It's going to be incredibly important.
Ultimately, the value will come from the amount of applications and tools and things that you can build and do on top of this computing architecture. You know, I think all technology creates energy consumption in certain patterns. And ultimately what we have to do is make sure that what we're building is something that's worthwhile and that we actually want in our society.
Cool. That's what we got. Let's go back to full screen. Y'all see my fan blowing my my green screen around back there. Y'all can see up on it. Anyway, man. I mean, y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. I mean, come on, y'all. Bitcoin mining. So I did look into it, and there's several sites. I mean, you could actually mine Bitcoin on your desktop. It's just that it's not powerful enough. Like, it would take you forever to mine like one Bitcoin now. But if you're really trying to get in the game, $2 million a day. You do the math. Let me pull out my cat. You know, listen, I'm a numbers guy. Like doing the math. 2 million. Just do hold on. 2 times 365. 2 times 365 is 730. So $730 million is what they expect to make a day. I mean, a year. 730 million. That's why they invest that money. You know, business people, hey, they're looking at the end. The means certainly justifies the end right there. Damn, 730 million. Man. So I thought that was the one. That was another one. So those mining facilities. So they were just telling you how they had the water dripping. There are other mining facilities. And I thought that was the video, but there's other mining facilities in like Iceland. They touched on it, but I mean like in cold areas, so they don't use as much energy, and they don't need all those elaborate systems, all those elaborate systems to keep things cool, because it's in Iceland, it's cold. So you build a warehouse on a slab of ice, and then you run the computers, and so you have less issues, and you don't have to again build out a similar type system. So, man, it's been we've been grinding. So I appreciate y'all sticking in and tapping in with me real quick. I do have to ask you again to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and also subscribe. Share this with friends, families, loved ones. We need to know, especially black folks. Black folks need to know about crypto and understand it. Like for me, and some things that I've discussed with my wife, especially in this next bear market, I'm telling you, I truly believe this is going to be the best opportunity to build generational wealth in a 5 to 10 year time frame with what is considered a smaller investment. So we're talking about $10,000 to $50,000. And I know guys are like, man, $50,000. I'm just telling you, like, in the grand scheme of things, y'all, 50 grand ain't no money. I'm just telling you, like, it's just not. And I'm not trying to poo-poo it. I ain't sitting here with a ton of money myself. I'm just saying, like, when you really get into financial markets, when you understand what's going on in Bitcoin, when you see these people making $2 million a day, when you see the money that they invested, like, those people, you can't even excite them with $50,000. And some of them probably came from less means than you might have. So, in any event, I'm saying that to say that do your homework. I own some Ethereum. Ethereum and Cardano are my largest holdings. I got some other alts are altcoins. I actually don't have any Bitcoin, believe it or not. So, and I I had a post on Facebook last year, around June, during the height of everything that was been going on. I'm not gonna say what that is for the YouTube algorithm because they will flag your account. But in the height of everything that's been taking place, I posted. I said, man, I needed to see Bitcoin pass a test of financial or economic calamity type test to really believe that, okay, it's here. And I posted that. And at the time, yeah, I tell y'all, I had about 900, maybe 1,000. I had about $900 in Bitcoin. Here's what was wild. And just foolish me because I didn't understand the market. I just bought it because I believed it, but I didn't hold it. So I had like $900 in Bitcoin. Ain't that much money. I just like, I'm gonna put this little money over there. I put it in there. And this was when Bitcoin was probably about $8,000, maybe 9,000, whatever it was in June of last year. And so then we got to like October, it started running a little bit. I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and take my chips out the table. I made about a 40-50% return on my money. I bought it at 9,000. I bought a fraction of it, some Satoshis, and I bought $900 worth of Satoshis, which are fractal Bitcoins, and then I sold it in October. As you guys know, from like November to January, February, Bitcoin went on this crazy, really from like November, December to like April or whatever it was. It went from like 10,000 basically to like 64,000. I had 900 in at like 9,000. So quick math will tell you 9,000 to 64, that's like a 6x increase. So that 900 that I put in there, if you multiply that times 6, it would have been like $5,600. I can't retire, but I can use this $5,600. But again, I didn't understand. I knew what I was saying, but I didn't understand what I was doing. So I bought it, not understanding really what it was, but just like it didn't go away, so it must be here. But I didn't stick in for the long haul. All right, so the very last segment, we got like 27 minutes left. I'm excited about this. What I wanted to talk to y'all about is this unique mortgage product that very few people know about. It's called a USDA loan. And this is the best video that I found about it. A friend of mine actually introduced me to it. And I was like, huh? So I'm gonna let the video speak for itself. But when we kind of go through this, it's about 20 minutes. I'm gonna try not to stop a lot so we can get through in 2 hours. But I'm telling you guys, like this is a game changer. Because from my perspective, and again, this is my opinion, entertainment, education, not advice. In my opinion, when I buy a home, I'm trying to put down as little as possible. Cash is king. I want to be liquid, or I want to have something that's easily made liquid. I appreciate real estate, and it has perks. Now, don't get me wrong. Real estate is a great investment. Owning a home, I'm an advocate of home ownership. But when I buy a home, I don't want to put 10% down if I don't have to. I don't want to put 5%. I don't want to put nothing down if I don't have to. And I think you're going to like what you're about to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and get into This next video, we're gonna let it run for a while. Like I said, it's about 20 minutes, I think. But it's good, man. I'm telling y'all, like, and we'll end on this one once we finish it up. We'll have some discussion about it, and then we'll go from there. So I gotta share my screen. I know. Oh, Jamie.
Rural development loan allow you to do. The biggest thing is that no down payment is required.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't share.
Arkansas real estate broker, and today we're talking about one of, in my opinion, the most exciting loan types out there, the USDA Rural Development Loan.
USDA Rural Development Loan.
Another video to help
Game changer. Telling y'all, I didn't know about this. I did not know about this.
100% financing is available to those who qualify for this loan type, which is awesome. This is unlike really any other loan type out there besides maybe a VA loan. And this is a little bit different because typically, if you're buying a house without a down payment, you would need to not only qualify for a loan like an FHA or conventional, but then those loan types require down payments. So you would need to combine those with a different down payment assistance program. But with the USDA Rural Development Loan, it is all pretty much rolled into one. So there is just one loan that you get to purchase your home, no down payment required. You can either buy an existing home or you can build a home. So there will be a little bit of different criteria if you want to use this loan type to have a home built. So today we're just talking about the.
So right away, your interest should be piqued. Your interest should be piqued just based on the few nuggets she's already given. There's a loan that has a legitimate 0 down. 0. I mean, you gotta listen to that, right? I'm gonna let it run some more, but that in and of itself is huge. And you could buy a new or pre-existing home. Let's let it go.
Most broad guaranteed program. Who can apply? Applicants must meet the following criteria that we are going to go through. You must have a household income that does not exceed 115% of the area median income where you are trying to buy. So this is a little bit different than some other loan types. I want to make a distinguisher here before we move on. The USDA loan will look at household income despite who is on the loan or the primary borrower. So where this comes into play is if you have to prove that you are in that 115% of the area median income or below for your household, even if you are the only loan borrower, but maybe you have a spouse living in the house with you that's working, maybe you have a boyfriend and girlfriend that will live in the house with you, or a child even, or anyone who will be living in this house with you. At the time of purchase, who has a job and is making money will need their income included in that household income. So it is not always just the borrower. This is different.
She's laying it out. I really don't have to stop this one as much. This is arguably the best video that I've seen on this. This young lady's name is Nicole Nark, and she's a real estate agent in Arkansas. I don't have her information tagged in the comment notes, but this was a heck of a video. She laid it out really well. So you guys see right now, you can't make more than 150% of the average median income in the area that you're looking to move into. She's going to go into this a little bit more lately, but what people don't know or don't understand is what the USDA considers rural. She's going to talk about it, but so I'm in the Middle Tennessee area, in a suburb of Nashville, And Nashville has been growing leaps and bounds really for like the last, seems like, let's call it 5 to 6 years. Well, there's areas around Nashville, really nice areas, that the USDA has classified as rural. These areas actually have higher average median income. So even if you're doing okay for yourself, you'd be surprised at some of these. Well, if you live in the area, you understand what I'm saying. But even if you live in a major metropolitan area, you can go to the USDA.gov website, and you can actually put in. You can go to Zillow or whatever, home selling website, realtor.com. You can grab an address if you're interested in moving or purchasing a building. You could put the address in USDA.gov, and it'll tell you if that area or if that home qualifies. Then you can go look at the average median income for that area. And if your income in your home doesn't exceed that, then you can either buy a home or have it built. But she'll go more into it, so you guys can understand. There's other things, like she was talking about everybody in the house. It doesn't matter. Like me and my wife could be buying a house, but if a family member was living with us that was working, and they use this as their residence, then they would include their income as well. So, all right, let's get to it. I'm talking enough.
Different from a lot of other loan types, so I always like to distinguish that. The household income does differ depending on where you are trying to buy a house. So I will leave several links in the description box. The first one is going to be where you can find out what that area median income is, so that you can tally up your household income and figure out if you are in that 115% and under. The second thing is you must agree to occupy the house as your primary residence. So you cannot be using this loan type in order to buy a house and immediately turn it into a rental. You have to have concrete plans to move into the house. I think it's within 30 or 60 days of closing on it. Additionally, you don't just have to be a US citizen. US citizens, non-citizen nationals, as well as qualified aliens who are living in the US can all qualify for this loan type. Now, this is another big one.
Man.
You must prove that you are unable to obtain conventional financing with no PMI. When the lender is looking at your bank statements and they see that you have a savings account with a lot of money that would cover about 20% of a down payment for the house you're trying to buy, it seems crazy, but they could actually say, no, you're not eligible for this rural development loan because we see that you have that cash in your bank account. Now, typically, lenders love to see cash in your bank account, but because this rural development loan specifically caters to some of those individuals who are a little bit low and moderate income earners, they typically try to make this program only available for people who can't come up with or have a hard time coming up with that 20%. Now, this may be super self-explanatory, but another criteria that you would have to meet is that you must not be suspended from participation in federal programs in order to qualify for this.
Okay, here's a commercial. I was gonna pause it. I'm gonna skip this, and then I'm gonna say, give a few thoughts. So real quick, those last two bullet points were important, especially the second to the last. Unable to obtain conventional financing with no PMI. So PMI is private mortgage insurance, and typically your home will have PMI if you cannot put down 20%. So it just depends on where you're moving and your budget and a lot of things, right? So I'm just gonna throw a number out there. So say you're looking at a house that the list price is $500,000, and you end up buying it for list, or you put an offer in for the list. 20% down is $100,000. So if you don't have 100 grand, then you're likely going to have some PMI. And based on what she's saying, at that point, you would be able to qualify for this loan. Now, if you got some change on the sidelines, and basically you can afford 20% of whatever home you're looking at, and you don't exceed that 115% average median income, then you can get in there. But if you break one of those, so say you don't exceed the average, that 115%, but you do have 20% down, then you probably don't qualify. So you got to check all of them, is my understanding. All right, let's let it ride a little bit more.
Look at these 5 things. This criteria list is pretty broad, which is exciting because sometimes with down payment assistance programs, the criteria can be very, very hard and lots of hoops that you may have to navigate. So with this, sometimes I have found with working with clients using the USDA loan, it's not necessarily hard to qualify for it, but sometimes it can be difficult to find a house that will fit the eligible criteria since the house needs to meet some certain things as well. So now that we have talked about who may be eligible to apply, let's go through some of the applicant qualifications so that you can determine whether this might be something that you want.
These are gems right here
for your home purchase. When it comes to income, we have a breakdown between self-employed and non-self-employed individuals. So for self-employed individuals, lenders are going to be looking for 1 year history on income. Now, this does not mean that you have to be at your same job for 1 year, but they do want to see maybe that you've held similar positions. They want to see that your income has stayed pretty regular, so you're getting paid on a regular basis. Ideally, you've made
y'all stay tapped in, man,
or your pay has gone up. Those are the type of things that they're looking for.
I didn't even know this loan existed.
With our self-employed individuals, self-employed individuals have to show a 2-year history of working for yourself.
Now, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm.
I fall into this category.
Also hit that subscribe and notification bell.
But just understand that lenders do this because if you are self-employed running your own business, that can definitely be seen from a lending perspective as risky. So that's why they want to see 2 full years of you working for yourself. They'll need to see those tax returns as well. And what they'll do, basically, without going on a full tangent, is average out how much you're making in a year and kind of divide that up by month. And use that as like what a monthly income.
She dropping gems, though.
Like we talked about in some of the other loan types, FHA, for example.
Let me get that ad out of the way.
Lenders may want to see that you have certain reserves, like 1 to 2 months of your mortgage payment already in your bank account. But with this USDA loan, they do not require anything like that. Additionally,
you didn't know that.
You may be really excited to hear this. There is no set credit score requirement.
What?
Now, with that being said, lenders do make the decision on whether they are going to
give me the Snoop ad lib
you for this loan type by looking at how likely you are to repay debts. So if you have lower credit, it doesn't require anything like that. Additionally, some of you may be really excited to hear that there is no set credit score requirement. Now, with that being said, lenders do make the decision on whether they're going to approve you for this loan type by looking at how likely you are to repay debts. So if you have lower credit, it doesn't mean that you automatically
had I known about this before I bought my current home,
if you can show
I probably would have got a different
regular payments on things like utility bills.
Love my home, by the way.
On your rent,
but I'm just saying, like,
help you with this.
If I could have kept that down payment in my pocket, you better believe I would have done it.
Now, with this guaranteed USDA loan, you are getting this from a lender. It can be a local lender in your area. You do not have to go through USDA. But with that, banks have the right to enforce their own overlays. And one of the things that they can set is they can set their own credit score requirements. So even though USDA does not put out a set credit score that you must have, the bank that you apply with may have a set credit score that they require to use and give you the USDA loan. I always like to mention this because
that's good to know.
When you apply, let's say you just walk into your random
Like you don't
local community credit union and you apply with them for a USDA loan. And let's say they deny you. Ask about overlays because maybe they are requiring a 640 credit score in order to give you that USDA loan. But there could be other banks that are doing it at a 620 or a 600. So it's not that you are denied the loan and should give up your home search at all. It could just be that you didn't meet that specific bank's overlay. And the reason that I'm so passionate about sharing this with you guys is because that definitely happened to me when I was applying for my first house. I was in that situation where the first lender I applied with flat out just declined me. I didn't know what to ask to figure out why that occurred. I was a little bit bashful and embarrassed at the same time, but you have every right to understand and know what it is that these banks can enforce and how to figure out what it is about your file that may prevent you from getting that approval if you don't get it right away.
This video is longer than the others.
Oh, you look jacked. But what about those bags of...
They're going to look at how much money payment is going to include, like actually paying down the loan. It's going to include that principal, interest, taxes, insurance. They're going to bundle that all into one. And they want that number to be no more than 29% of your gross monthly income that you have coming in. So if you want to do kind of a quick calculation on how much you may get approved for, that would be a great thing to do. Look at your gross monthly income, figure out what 29% of that is, and that could be like your house payment range. In addition to your payment not exceeding more than 29% of your gross monthly income,
there's somebody downstairs trying to find some rumbling for some
debt to income ratio. Now, if you're not familiar with your debt to income ratio, I've made a full video explaining what it is and how to.
She lays it out.
How to calculate
all
it.
the
So
information,
I will link that above
everything you need.
Now for your reference.
Wow,
But
we got like 8 minutes
when
left. How much?
approving buyers like yourself for the USDA Rural Development Loan want your debt to income ratio to be no more than 41%. So those are the requirements that they are going to be looking for in your file when determining if you would be a good candidate for this loan. Earlier, I mentioned that not only do you have to meet certain criteria in order to get pre-approved for the loan type, sometimes it can be difficult to find houses that match what the criteria are for this loan type. So let's talk
Let her get through the rest of it.
Homes you can buy with this loan type, because with the USDA,
This was the dopest. All the videos were dope.
A farm or a home necessarily on acres and acres, but they do still.
This one for anybody looking at home ownership, this is huge.
So the first thing is the house has to be a single family dwelling. So this means that it cannot be an apartment complex. You cannot go out and buy something like a duplex where you live in one side and rent out the other.
No house hacking.
It just has to be
no multi. Well, I guess you can house hack, but no multi-families.
One thing to keep in mind is that it can be attached or detached. It can be a condo, it can be a modular home or a mobile home, as long as those are on permanent foundations. So don't think that you couldn't buy a condo with the USDA loan as long as it meets the criteria otherwise. Even though it is attached, since it is just the one unit you would own, not the whole thing, it would still qualify. In addition to this, the home must meet HUD 4000.
Man, she's laying it all out. This is everything you need to know to pull this up.
Now, these standards are put out every single year.
Oh, it's a lot of what you need to know.
Development. And
you're probably going to leave this video with 80% of 90%.
Just like
I'm going to say 90% of the
FHA
information.
loan as well. So there are certain standards that are set out that houses have to meet in order to be financed with many different types of government-backed residential mortgages.
Let me see.
So
We're
the
getting
reason
close to
that I
12.
wanted to put this in here is because in most cases, your
Appreciate y'all staying tapped in.
that you
Appreciate
see
y'all tuning
are
in.
going
We're about to wrap it up
meet
in a little
these
bit.
standards. However, if you happen to find yourself looking at something that's a foreclosure, that's a short sale, that looks pretty rough around the edges, just know that that may not be up to these standards. And if it's not, it likely will not be able to be purchased with the USDA Rural Development Loan. Something else that's really exciting about this loan type is that there is no maximum purchase price. So the purchase price is completely set based off of the borrower's repayment and how much you can afford. If you make
Pause. Okay, I'm gonna pause it real quick there. No minimum purchase price. That's pretty big. And that's what I was telling you guys. So it's still stipulations there because you still can't make over the average median income for that area. But if you happen to be moving into a higher net worth area that's designated as rural by the USDA, and you fall in within that other criteria, so you don't have 20% down, and you're not making over 115% of the average median income, you could move into that area with no money down. It's basically what that's saying. That's I mean, come on, man. That's huge. That's huge. Huge. Big. I need a man. What other ad libs we got? I take that one.
Close.
Yeah.
Ricky Ross.
I'm looking for another ad lib. What we got? I don't know if I got nothing else. We got some TI ad lib.
Hey. Grand hustle, partner.
Anyway, that's huge, y'all. I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Motherfucker.
Nope. Didn't know that was gonna didn't know what that one was. Surprise.
Young Hope, you heard?
All right. Let's go ahead and finish up. What else she have? I'm gonna try to see if she got some more bullet points. We're almost done with this one.
Money and your debt approved for and what kind of house you can buy. Just because there is no set acreage limit does not mean that you can go and just buy 200 acres in the middle of the woods. Acreage homes have to still be considered common for the area. So if you live in an area where 10-acre homes is the norm, you could probably swing that with the USDA loan. This is specifically for the guaranteed single family housing.
It's huge.
So if you were trying to buy
Excuse me, this is huge.
that would be a completely different type of USDA loan.
Have you ever heard of a USDA loan before
But
this?
if you're in an area
Probably not.
where everything is like
Probably never
very
heard of it.
small subdivision lots and you want to buy the one house that comes with 100 acres, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it could be a little bit more difficult. Additionally, there are no seasoning requirements, and I'm not talking about walking through your house with a bunch of salt and pepper. I am talking about how long the seller of a home has to own it before selling it to you. So this comes into play if you wanted to buy a house that has been flipped or recently fully renovated. There are some government-backed loans, like FHA loans, that require a certain amount of time where the house has to season and the seller has to own it before they can sell it to someone who, for example, is
Trying to see if
seeking
she
an
has some
FHA
more
loan.
bullet
But
points out
you
of
don't have to worry about that with the USDA loan.
Another
You
one
could
coming.
buy a flipped house right away as soon as it.
Oh, commercial. They paused it. I didn't try to.
Look at me.
Make sure y'all smash that like button
You don't have to live in fear just
and
because
hit
you
the
don't have
subscribe button as well.
In my opinion, we have not talked about.
Stay up to
the
date for everything
biggest
that's going on with the
limiting
channel.
factor. So USDA wants.
This is what I
you
was telling
to
y'all
purchase
earlier
a
about the
home
rural
that is
stuff.
located within a rural area, quote unquote. So a rural area, in their terms, is defined by either a city that has less than 35,000 people. You could live outside of the city limits of a certain area.
What happened?
or any areas
Explain.
that are
There
just
we go.
going to be
Sorry, yeah.
completely rural. When you drive around, you're not in a big town. Those are likely to qualify. So I will leave a link in the description box to where you can type in certain addresses to see if they would be in qualifying areas. Your smaller cities, your suburban cities, those are going to be more likely to have qualifying.
Yep.
So you will contact any USDA.
Okay. That's pretty much the end of the video. She's going to kind of go into the contact information, who you'd reach out to kind of get the ball rolling on this. Basically, any mortgage provider, any bank, you can ask them if they have it. There actually is an approved list, I think, on the USDA website. And so you could just enter in the state, and it'll tell you who in the state can actually do that type of loan, or who specializes in the USDA loan product. So why is that important for people who think home ownership is outside of the realm of possibility? She talked about overlays. That was a big one. So basically, this loan product actually has no minimum credit score. It's designed for people who are trying to build or who may not have the best credit in the world. But she was saying that the bank or the mortgage company that you're going through could have their own requirements, and they could implement those requirements on top of the loan. So they could just want you to have, you know what I'm saying, like a 650. But that may not be everybody. Because again, it's a government-backed loan. I don't even know why in a government-backed loan scenario, why most of the banks would even want to, because the money for the most part is going to be guaranteed from the government. So even if you go south, the bank's going to get their money. So I don't know why they care that much. But in any event, that's huge. She talked about the acreage, and you're just not going to go out and buy 200 acres or 10 acres or 20 acres unless that's relative to the neighborhood where everybody in where you're trying to develop and buy has a similar setup in terms of land. I will tell you, I've looked in my general area, and there are really nice homes and subdivisions that are classified as rural, but that are within driving distance of Nashville, like a reasonable driving distance. So you could live there, especially with all the remote work and everything going on. There's a lot of people who are migrating to the suburbs. So the suburbs are growing exponentially. And so, but there's still some areas, at least around where I live, that are considered that. Number two, I said number two. Just, I guess another thing is, I wanted to make sure you guys hung around and I talked about this because, let me go back big here. Because a lot of us, especially black folks, I don't think a lot of people in general know about this product, but I know a lot of black folks don't know about this product. And when I tell you how much money you could save, and I know a lot of people don't even like moving a lot, but one strategy, and you have to do your due diligence. Again, entertainment and education, this is not advice. But one strategy you could do to make, depending on the area you live in, the appreciation of the house in the area, you could move every 3 years. I'm not suggesting it, but let's say you use this product and you moved without putting down a down payment. Then you're talking what? If you get the appreciation, I know looking at our home, it's basically appreciated. We've been in here like 3.5 years. It's appreciated essentially 10% every year. So I'm up 30% on appreciation. So I can move and get that money back. And then, what you guys may or may not know, if you're single, the government has like a no, you don't have to pay capital gains tax on the sale of your primary residence up to $250,000 if you're single. The last time I checked, and it's up to $500,000 if you're married. So if you sell whatever you profit, if you're single, if it's under 200, that first $250,000 will not be taxed. If you're married, the first $500,000 that you profited will not be taxed. Everything over that will be taxed. So imagine being able to take that money, no taxes, move to another home, no down payment, right? You lock in your mortgage. So it's not like renting something where they could jack up the rent next year on you, right? You're there for another 3 years. Let's say you get another 18 to 25%. You move, these are, anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 houses, right? And so you're getting, 20% a better return on that. I don't know, yeah, I mean, to each his own, but it's something to think about. It's something to think about is all I'm saying. And like I said, I've always been a proponent of putting as little money down as possible. And I would much rather have that cash in my pocket to be able to deploy it in another way, whether that's rental properties in the stock market or crypto market, of course. I'm trying to put little to no money down where I can. So, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. We've been rocking out for 2 whole hours. And so, man, this was a great stream. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I had fun, and I plan on doing these every Friday, and we'll keep it moving. And so again, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Y'all make sure y'all smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on any videos posted. I appreciate y'all being up, man. I know it's a Friday night. You could be doing a lot of stuff, Netflix and chilling, Squid Game, all that stuff. But you rocked out with me for 2 hours, and that means a lot. And so please also go to the tickerapparel.com website. Y'all see what's going on in the background. This is the first ever apparel brand that was birthed out of crypto culture, where every purchase that you make, 10% of the gross sale, you'll receive it back in Satoshis, which are fractal Bitcoins, which has never been done before. But you got to make sure you enter in your phone number or your email address correctly and accurately at checkout, because you're going to need an active Coinbase or Cash App account. This is likely going to be sent via Coinbase, but you're going to need that, because if you don't put the right email address in and the crypto or the Satoshis are sent to the wrong place, then, too bad, too sad type of situation. But again, man, I appreciate y'all support. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I've had a fantastic time. Again, I hope you guys have as well. Please like, share, subscribe. It costs absolutely nothing to do that. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me. Until next Friday, this is the first episode, the first live stream of FNL. It went off fantastic, I thought. Please leave your feedback in your comments. Until next week, man, y'all take care and be blessed. It's your boy Al, the neighborhood economist. I'm out.